If you want to be able to buy the most expensive players and open the best packs in FC24, go to u7buy.com to buy your EA FC24 coins. It's cheaper than buying FC points and just as reliable. With their already amazing prices, you can get an extra 6% using promo code Inception at checkout. Okay, so today, guys, we have a new Evolutions video to check out. Or not Evolutions video to check out, a new Evolutions to check out. I believe this is a paid one, 125k for this. Honestly, if they make this a paid one, I would say that the upgrades need to be pretty significant, because a lot of these cards are gonna be outdated, to be honest, and then some of them are actually cards that are probably worth looking into if you already have their base card, okay? So Wesley Sneijder is the first example, so he might actually have something pretty good. Tiki Taka Plus, by the way, is a very nice playstyle. I definitely mess with that a lot. But in-game stuff, this card has stat improvements, and then the plus version of it is the Tiki Taka. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the options that we do have to work with here. Paulo Futre is the top choice, and the reason why he is a top choice, because my chat has been telling me today, and it's funny that I did his review today for that one. The reason why this one is trending is because he essentially looks the same as the fantasy card, right? The fantasy card is basically the same card to this, except this card is a 4-star, 3-star player. And to be honest, the 5-star skills is obviously a very big deal to work with. This card remains to be a 4-star, 3-star player. Playstyles, he does get Tiki Taka Plus, which again, very good playstyle to get. Incisive Pass, Flare, First Touch, and the Quick Step. So this is basically like a cheaper version of the Foot Fantasy version, which gives you a different playstyle in Rapid Plus and Incisive Pass, which, to be fair, both of them have pretty good playstyles given to each other. But for the new version, or not the new version, but what the current version of the game, Paulo Futre's, I mean, this card with the 5-star skills is going to be a big deal. 5-star skills is really, really massive to work with nowadays. But, and also the fact that that card can still upgrade. But for 125k, if you already had that version of the card, you can't go wrong with it, right? You get a card like this that with the, I would say, see, Deadeye was for the new version, but Deadeye on this doesn't work as much because he'll be lacking in certain areas. Like the pace needs to be higher, so it kind of makes you want to give him the Hawk chemistry style for the physical pace and shooting boost, but then the shooting is on the lower side, right? So it kind of makes you want to give him a finisher as well, but then the pace is still on the lower side. And then, you know, it's just one of those ones where it's like a little bit strangely formatted, right? Because if you really want to improve the card, you would have to give him a Hunter, which is weird because you don't really give him the full pace boost, right? But for the current meta of the game, you would have to put his finishing to be as high as possible, I would say. So an interesting choice if you wanted to go in that direction. Okocha is the next one here. He gets Trickster Plus as well as the Tiki Taka Plus. Trickster Plus is cool to use. It's not like incredibly meta, but if you can get one of those goals off, it's obviously really fun. With this card, 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot, 5'8". He's obviously formatted for the Hunter. The main thing that's going to be low on the card is obviously going to be in the shooting capabilities, right? So shooting is going to be at a 90 for finishing. I always tell you guys that nowadays, it's always, not nowadays, but ever since the beginning of the year, it's always been nice to get the shooting in the mid-90s area, right? 95 and up. But this card actually looks pretty interesting from the selections, right? So Tiki Taka Plus being played in the actual like cam position or any of the main attacking areas would still be pretty decent to work with. You know, you can't really go wrong with that whatsoever. Hunter to boost the pace, and the shooting is going to be the most ideal situation because he does have the 5-star skills with some pretty good dribbling stats, right? Mid-90s for dribbling with 92 for composure. Like that should be, you know, decent enough to work with in the game nowadays. The only thing that's low, again, as I mentioned, is going to be the finishing at a 90, and it looks like a card you probably have to keep in the cam position because of the 80 stamina. But I mean, I've used Okocha in the past in the side positions, and he does perfectly fine there too, like the right wing position and stuff, and it was fine to use him there. So not bad. That's an actual decent selection, I would say. Owairan, who is not as effective this year as he was last year. I think it was because he's a lengthy player, right? So lengthy last year was like really, really crazy to work with. But with this card, he does get the improvements as well Probably, again, a card you give a finisher chemistry style to because you need to boost his shooting to be as high as possible, as well as his dribbling. Key thing here is if the play styles are good, right? So 94 acceleration, 97 sprint speed is not as bad to work with when it comes to this card because his pace is at a 94, 97, but he has the rapid and the quick step. So he has both of the running play styles to still feel somewhat fast in the card, right? The quick step will push pace out of the card a little bit more as well, while working with a tiki-taka plus, right? So again, can't really go wrong with that. He has good passing stats as an attacker, right? Physical stats, he's got an 89 for stamina. So a card like this, who is a left-footed player on the left-hand side, you know, he does have the capabilities of being a decent card, but it's more so if you're building like some sort of like Saudi League team, I would say, right? Because at this point, I do think that there's going to be better options in the left-hand position. But again, still looks like a pretty decent card if you want to go in that direction, right? All right, next up. Wesley Sneijder. So Sneijder is actually an interesting one, right? The reason why he's an interesting one is because, you know, sure, the sprint speed is on the lower side. I'm not going to say that it isn't. It is at an 88 for sprint speed. However, this card I see being used in two main ways, right? One is going to be as the attacking oriented center mid. So if you guys play like the recent 4-3-3 that we reviewed and you play him in the right center mid position, he could be fine there, right? This card has really good passing play styles, right? While working with good passing stats. So he has incisive pass and tiki-taka, but he also has power shot, dead ball, pinged pass, long ball pass, whipped pass, and first touch. So as I mentioned, attacking oriented center mid, I'm not like completely off from doing something like that when it comes to a card like this. So he actually looks very, very interesting if you want to play him specifically in that way. I think for current meta, again, it'd be either the cam position or the attacking oriented center mid. Mainly attacking oriented center mid, just because of the agility and bounce being at an 87, with dribbling being low too. Because if the card is formatted like that, it makes you want to give him an engine. As a main attacker, yeah, for sure, right? But that's going to be on the lower side, right? So, yeah. Carlos Tevez, next up. So Tevez, oh, he does actually get an evolution. I thought he didn't when we were doing the player picks initially. But Tevez, honestly, I wouldn't really do this one personally. I mean, if you're going for like sentimental value, you can't really go wrong with it, because when you give this card a hunter chemistry style to boost the pace as well as the shooting, you put him in a pretty decent area. Again, can be used as the attacking oriented center mid as well. Main difference between this card and the previous version is a +2, +3, +4 in certain areas. But we have to take into consideration that you're also paying for this, right? Playstyles, he has Relentless Plus, Tiki-Taka, Power Shot, Technical, Quick Step. Yeah, it's a little bit outdated, I would say, if you're going to be using him in the main attack up top, but it's possible, right? It's possible. We have the King card, Ledley King, who gets an upgrade that is better than his previous version, apparently. Yeah, it's actually a better version. Wasn't this an SBC? $45K, went up 19K. Shadow chemistry style on him, 86 acceleration, 93 for sprint speed, better defensive stats. Duh, he has Anticipate Plus and Tiki-Taka Plus. Tiki-Taka Plus for him would be a funny one, I'm not gonna lie. Giving him Tiki-Taka Plus would be pretty funny. For a center back, yeah, for sure. Lizarazu, Fantasy, better, obviously. Tiki-Taka, I don't know, for cards like this, you could totally do it, but it's kind of a waste, I would say, you know? Shadow chemistry style does boost the card. Honestly, at this point, I'd rather have the sprint speed at a perfect area, 99.99, if he's not going to be a lengthy player. If he's lengthy, then that's more than perfectly fine, but needs to be a little bit higher in this current meta. Playstyles, he has some pretty good playstyles, to be fair. That fantasy card must be really nice if he has playstyles like that. But again, I wouldn't go on a card like that for sure. Ricardo Carvalho even gets one, eh? Govou. Govou gets a 4-star, 3-star, a little bit outdated there. A card that in the main attacking positions you would have to give an engine chemistry style to. This card, it doesn't put him in a horrible area though. Honestly, if you still have that version, you're putting it for an improvement on this. It's not completely horrible, but 4-star, 3-star, if you're at a certain point in the game, can be a little bit outdated. But he does have some pretty decent play styles, right? Tiki-Taka Plus on an attacker is not bad to work with whatsoever, right? And when you give him the engine, you actually boost his passing capabilities too. So wouldn't put it past people to do that as well. Okay, what else we got here? King, Lizarazu, Govou, Ricardo Carvalho. I mean, listen, with a card like Ricardo Carvalho, unless they make some sort of like new hero card for him, right? For people who are building some sort of Portuguese squad, you could go in this direction, right? He's a controlled, lengthy player with the shadow chemistry style, but again, with center backs, I tell you guys this all the time, you want to try to go full meta as much as possible. And this card is a little bit, you know, off it at this point, I would say, but for people who are building some sort of like past and present FC Porto squad, you know, he's got the kit on as well, then obviously do it for those reasons. You put him next to a nice little cheeky Ether Militao or something, you're kind of cooking, you know? But 6 foot tall, low high work rate. He does have Anticipate Plus, which is nice. Tiki Taka Plus is more just like it's like a cool play style to give him, right? But again, it's not gonna be as ideal as giving it to some players, I would say, right? Francescoli does get the upgrade now. Engine chemistry style. He's still kind of a weird card. Little bit of a weird card. Hunter chemistry style would boost the pace. You would have to work with a lower balance. Isn't he a smaller player? Why does it not say his height here? What? Anyways, I'm pretty sure he's a smaller player. Doesn't say here, but base hero catch up, superpowers. I mean, he could be decent. High-low work rates. You give him a hunter to boost the pace to be as high as possible, as well as a shooting. Finesse shot, power shot, decisive pass, technical flair, acrobatic. Some pretty decent improvements there. What else we got here? Francescoli, Kesler. By the way, we're going to do a review for this card. She's actually pretty nice. Kesler gets an improvement. Compared to what? So if you're doing the foot fantasy... Oh, it's a pretty significant improvement, to be fair. The pace is really big, and so is the passing, to be honest. Pace is a really huge one. So you give her a shadow. Still on the lower side. Also, this card is a 4-star player, so that adds to it a lot if you went in that direction. Cole, I want to see this one. This one's an interesting one compared to this one. Huh. This one's actually better. What does this one have? Quick Step Plus. This is a better card. Quick Step is cool, but I think technical, for his body type, it makes more sense. Like, if you actually want someone that gives you the Premier League links, this might be looking into a little bit, honestly. This one might actually be worth looking into. Tiki Taka Plus with Technical Plus, I think Technical Plus is more relevant on him than Quick Step, to be honest. And trust me, I have the other version of Cole, because he was on the RTG account, right? So, let's see what else we got here. Base hero catch up. It's like there's a long list for these cards, eh? Capdevila. Oh, so you can't put Capdevila into this one. So stat improvements. He's still a controlled lengthy on his shadow, eh? See, the thing about him is his dribbling stats. I don't know. The dribbling in game might be really annoying, but I feel like he could have some good defensive capabilities. Tiki Taka Plus is being added onto the card. He has no defensive playstyles. They were like, yo, this card's too good last year. We need to nerf him. I wonder if he's any good. Like I said, I never used him this year. Last year, you guys know, man, I always used to say this guy is just full meta. Like, it was him, Camavinga. I think it was him that they made a footies card for. And then he was like the new full meta left back. But yeah, Camavinga, when they made that card as a left back, was amazing. What else we got here? QL. So QL gets improvements, finisher chemistry style to boost the shooting and the dribbling. Playstyles, power shot plus and tiki taka. Again, as an attacker, that's actually like decent to work with. Rapid first touch Trivela. I mean, you could go in that direction as well. Park Ji-sung. What's the... Okay, so here's the thing. Hero upgrade was the one. So this one's the outdated one now. Okay, so this one's this one's actually the good one. Base hero catch up. By the way, Park Ji-sung is actually pretty decent in this game. He's not bad whatsoever. If you use him as a center mid, especially as the attacking oriented one, he's not bad. He's actually pretty usable. This wouldn't be a bad direction. See, you know what's really unfortunate about evolutions like this is when you see the last one and you're actually someone that does use a South Korean team like you, and you're like, well, now there's a new one that I can't really use the Evo on because I have the previous version, you know? It's a little bit weird. That's like it's done like that, you know? Hero upgrade, base hero. Yeah, I think physical is actually pretty nice on him too. That's a pretty good upgrade, I would say. Oh, Bomba Store actually gets one, eh? Forlan base hero catch up. 4-star, 4-star. Forlan's actually like a pretty fun card to use. This card turns into a 90, so compared to his SBC, I mean, compared to the SBC, it's a better card. The SBC was pretty expensive. It was like 400k. Yeah, 500, 600k. It was like really expensive. So there you go. Cheaper version of Forlan if you never got the previous version. Forlan, like I said, Forlan's actually like a pretty fun card to use in this game. I use that other version all the time, and he's actually not bad. But obviously, with the way that this game is formatted, you wouldn't use him for a long period of time, you know? Playstyles-wise, Power Shot plus, Tiki-Taka plus, Finesse Shot, and First Touch. Not too bad. Robbie Keane. Honestly, the main improvement that needs to happen for Robbie Keane is dribbling. Dribbling needs to be higher, and it's not, right? So it's a card that you got to give a hunter to, because look, this one at least puts him into the 90s for dribbling, and I think that's a really big deal. First Touch plus, however, I would say kind of useless, right? This one has a little bit better playstyles to work with. Chip Shot plus is like cool, but with the Park the Bus Met, it's a little bit hard to get those things off. Most of the times you will go for a regular strike because since the Park the Bus Met is so strong, their track back is so quick that they'll just block out the chip shot a lot of the times anyways. But if you get really good angles and you can really hit a direct one, then they obviously do them really well, right? So, but yeah, Keane, you know, he's in the 80s for dribbling now. Wouldn't look into this one as much. If you were going to do the Evo for him, I would have just done the other one, to be honest. Bompastor. No, she had an Evo that was crazy. It was the Pep's Legacy one. This Pep's Legacy one was really, really good in game. Really, really good. Physical boost. Oh, so she actually gets a good improvement. So this one gets better dribbling. I'm not too fussed about the dribbling being lower, to be honest. I'm not fussed about that. This is not a bad card to look into. How much is this one? Oh, never mind. I take that back. Unless you do FIFA points. Unless you do FIFA points. Tiki-Taka plus, and then this one is what? I think I'd like I think I'd like Relentless more, honestly. Over Tiki-Taka for the left back position? Yeah, most likely. To be fair though, she does look like a good center mid as well, eh? Not bad. Center mid's not. I'm not against putting her at center mid. Doesn't the other card get like an like? Wasn't it like a weak foot or something too? Pep's Legacy, or no? Was it? I mean, 4-star, 5-star. 4-star, 5-star. Just, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We're just gonna move right past that one then. Move right past that one. What else we got here? Brolin, 93 for dribbling. Hunter chemistry style, definitely. Boost the pace, boost the shooting. Still a 4-star, 3-star player. High work rates. I mean, the usability is there for sure. Some defensive stats, so you could technically use him as the attacking oriented center mid as well. Tiki-Taka plus would be nice in that area too, with a technical incisive pass. Not completely against this one. Not completely against that one. Smolarek. I mean, not really worth looking into these guys. People don't really use these types of guys. I mean, he gets some nice improvements, but he's still 3-star, 3-star. You know what I'm saying? So you would have to like work with that a little bit, I would say. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. See, like, we're starting to move into the realms of cards I'm not, like, as interested in, right? Like, Rosicky, Berbatov. 4-star, 3-star on this card now, with dribbling being lower. Berbatov. He gets a first touch plus and a tiki-taka plus. Usability, it'll be there a little bit more, right? Because this one is a worse card. Beasley Julie. What does this Julie put it to compared to the fantasy? Yeah, I might as well just do the fantasy then. It's 100k, it's not expensive. Mostovoy, Kite, Rui Costa. Yeah, the lower you go is the more... I mean, usable, sure, but like I don't really see people using those cards. So it's definitely going to be the top choices at the top over here. These guys at the bottom. John Honorisa, maybe? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I wouldn't put it past people to do that card. This card is a 3-star, though no one really chose him. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it, really. So I would say, like, the best choices, the popular ones, they make sense. Like, Futre, I'm not against completely, but, like, he's a little bit outdated, but he has really good playstyles. Like, that's a really huge plus. Okocha is a big one. Schneider's a big one for attacking right to center mid. Owairan's a big one, too. And then, personally, the rest of them I don't really care too much about. Cole is not a bad choice, either. Because of the playstyles. Capdevila might be decent. Park Ji-sung might be decent. But yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys. For me think's kind of expensive, to be honest. But to each their own. Peace out, my dudes.